actually Gary O'Neill's first match in charge since being permanently appointed as the Bournemouth manager. It felt like he already was because he had such a long spell as the caretaker boss. But it'll be good to see them back in action, along with Chelsea, who are desperate for wins, Darren. They lost 3 in a row prior to the World Cup break, 5 without a win after it had started all so well for Graham Potter as the new Chelsea boss. How much do you think he will have been working with the team in this break, and what were the key things he needed to work on, do you think?
Defence. They've been conceding too many goals and they're not scoring enough either. And I'd say he's under a bit of pressure going into this game because there are some Chelsea fans who've lost faith
these goals again,
in
isn't
him.
it?
I know you as a Brighton fan, this is music to your ears. They're not showing enough of them.
No, I know.
Okay,
We only saw 2 Brighton goals.
But if you look at the manner of these goals, uncertainty in the Blues' back line, ball watching, and they're far too static. And I think if we see that in this Bournemouth game, they could be in trouble because Bournemouth have had wins at Chelsea before. Bournemouth do have players who know how to score goals. They also have players who can work for Gary O'Neill, and we've seen that in the games. The initial games, they fell off a bit towards the back end of the first half of the season, but they do play for him. Potter needs this result. He and Moyes going into this game, we were talking about Arsenal West Ham a second ago, both under pressure because they've both got sets of fans who are a little bit uncertain, a little bit restless, a little bit concerned. Certainly Chelsea fans starting to pine a bit for Thomas Tuchel, which is unfair because I think as far as Potter's concerned, he's come in, he's got a new way of doing things. He doesn't quite have his team yet, and I think he'll need it. But I think as far as this game is concerned, it could be a banana skin for him. After
14 matches in the Premier League last season, so the same amount of games Chelsea have played now, Chelsea were actually top of the Premier League table under Thomas Tuchel. And as Darren's pointed out, we have heard some Chelsea fans that are, wishing that he'd never been sacked as the Chelsea boss. And Darren points out that's unfair on Graham Potter. How much time does he need?
Well, hindsight's a great thing because people were saying the same thing about Frank Lampard and they easily forgot about that when Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League. So it's difficult for Graham Potter because he had to take this job. Yeah. Let's be honest, he did. I know Brighton fans are reluctant to let him leave, but he had to. It's one of the biggest jobs in the world. But he's not going to get time. Maybe Todd Bowley might do different things to Abramovich, but we've seen, there's a reason why Chelsea have had 20 managers in 22 years because they just don't give managers time. I think the biggest concern for me with Graham Potter is he doesn't know his best 11. The tinkering at times, Loftus-Cheek was playing at right back, full back, Azpilicueta was playing higher. Didn't make sense to me. I mean, he's one of the best managers. We know this, Graham Potter. I'm not a manager. I'm just giving my opinion of what I see. And I'm seeing too much tinkering. I'm seeing, players playing Kovacic, Jorginho, then he'll bring on Conor Gallagher, then he'll come off. It's almost like too much tinkering. Mason Mount might play one game, then he won't play the next game. I know it's football and you have to make changes, but you can't make 7 or 8 changes every single game because there's no continuity. Now, when he took over in the job, he was in place for a month before they play Leipzig in the Champions League. So he had that time. Salzburg, sorry. He had that time, didn't he? With the team. Now he's had that time with the players that haven't been at the World Cup. Hopefully he can implement it, but the results have to come because I do worry for him. And it's modern day football. Managers don't get much time anymore. They just don't. And the fans are not happy with the way that Chelsea are playing. We talk about Tottenham. They're not playing great football, but they're still getting results. Chelsea are not getting the results. And when I was at the Brentford game, a couple of months ago, it was just, there was no plan. Sterling and Aubameyang were on the bench, then they'd come on, and they just kind of looked like they didn't really know where to be. And a lot of players in this day and age, I think, need guidance.